Don't you love it, folks? They never saw it coming. The Mario movie. It is now on track to potentially become the biggest, highest grossing animated feature-length film of all time, taking the crown from Disney, and it all comes down to Japan. Can the country from which Mario originates? No, he's not really Italian. He just looks and sounds like it. Can Japan lift this film into the top spot? We'll take a look at it, and we'll take a look at how ridiculous some people in the press are presenting ideas that Disney might actually have something to compete with it. Answer, they don't. Explaining entertainment. We try to do it each and every day here on the WDW Pro channel. We do it because we believe in keeping you ahead of the culture curve. We give you a PhD in understanding the crazies of Hollywood, and we do it with no tuition involved. Folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and you can stick it to the algorithms when you click it. We're talking about that notification bell. Joining us to help explore just how awesome Mario is. Isn't that funny? Jonas J. Campbell, investigative reporter for That Park Place. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Wait, was I not supposed to be paying tuition so far here?
You signed a paper, Jonas. You signed it. I'm sorry. We'll have the lawyers look at it. Have your. Never mind. I was going to make a joke. Never mind. The Super Mario Brothers movie has a different script for its Japanese release. This is an article straight out of The Gamer, and I love this article. Nobody is covering this that I have seen, and folks, this is huge. We'll explain why. This article is by Josh Robertson. The Super Mario Brothers movie's Japanese script isn't quite a direct translation. Let's read on. The Super Mario Brothers movie has been in cinemas for a little while now, but the title has yet to release in Japan, not doing so until later this week on April 28th. That's a little odd since Mario was pretty much conceived in Japan, but it turns out there may be a reason as to why his big screen debut is coming a little later for the country. The fact that it has a different script. Now, let me pause here and say that's not actually true at all. Yes, it does have a different script, but that's not why it was delayed. The reason that it's not coming out until now in Japan and South Korea and other locations in Eastern Asia is simply because there's a huge holiday week now. It's called the Golden Week, and it's sort of like Christmas and Thanksgiving combined. So there's a lot of excitement around new movies and new games being released, and Nintendo is capitalizing on that. That's why if Japan and South Korea can contribute $300 million, that's the number amount we're watching for. If they can contribute that, then, well, this movie is on its way to becoming the top movie of all time, box office-wise. Speaking with Japanese outlet Nintendo Dream Web and translated by VGC, Shigeru Miyamoto revealed that the script for the Super Mario Bros. Movie's Japanese release was worked on independently, and it's a little different to the movie's Western release. Instead of a direct translation like many of us would have assumed, parts of the script have been altered for its Japanese audience to get rid of any awkward parts that were catered towards Westerners. Jonas, this is amazing to me because this eliminates the fear that many had that this movie would be simply pirated over there in Japan and South Korea and other places. But no, there's an entirely different movie for them to watch if they just go see it in their own language. Is this not the most awe-inspiring strategy that you have ever seen? This is crazy.
It's amazing. From the moment I heard what this video was going to be about, I was excited at the thought. First of all, let me point out that I will now be buying the Japanese release of this film.
Jonas, do you speak Japanese?
No, sir. I do not, and don't touch my mustache.
You think Domo Arigato means this movie is going to be great, right?
Thank you very much. I do believe it will be. The thing that I'm going to be looking for is everything that gets translated, and who doesn't love to watch the same line get said in several different languages and watching different cultures of masculinity, especially Japanese versus American. They're very different. But the thing that I was always looking forward to was the Super Mario Brothers rap, which is very American and very much important to 1980s, early 90s Americans.
I hadn't thought of that. You're right.
What are they going to? I was thinking, what in the world are they going to do with that track for the Japanese audience? Because they aren't going to be nostalgic for Captain Lou Albano over there. They're just going to think it's some weird American thing, which that's okay. There's a lot of weird American things. Or how about the DK rap? that was written for the rare version, Donkey Kong 64, and
Absolutely.
had all American lyrics. There was a little issue there with the guy who wrote it didn't get credit in the film. I think they might correct that later on for his sake. But there is so much about that movie that is very American, which is why it's doing well in the Western world. But to see the Eastern world say, no, we're going to do our own thing, that's awesome. And if it were any other country and any other company, I might be wary of it. I might say they're just localizing it. They're going to cut out some things that are offensive in that market. But to know that Shigeru Miyamoto has specific jokes that he wants in there, that's cool to me. That's super cool.
Well, not only that, so think about this, Jonas. You know, people are often amazed when Pixar will change characters, you know, little third tier characters even, you're right. They'll change them slightly from different regions so that they're more relatable. This is on an entirely different sphere. I mean, this is tremendous what they're doing. They're not replacing, you know, small little scenes or little bits of music. They created an entirely different script. Let's read this quote from Miyamoto. Since we were creating this movie in both Japan and the United States, we thought we should make a Japanese version as well. An entirely different movie. So when we decided to make this movie, we discussed creating a unique Japanese script from the beginning. Even if we were shown an English script, it would be hard to understand the subtle nuances. This is, I have never seen anything like this. So I think this puts to bed any fears that we had that Japan would perhaps pirate the English version and just not go watch it. I think they have a distinctly Japanese movie on their way, and I can't even imagine now what the ceiling is for this thing. You have any ideas, Jonas?
I'm just so flabbergasted at the idea. Like, how different is this? Is this to the point where they had to animate things differently? Because if they're doing a different script, does that mean they have different animations in certain parts?
It's something to watch.
I have to have an answer. And
absolutely.
And can I get it over here without having to resort to import sites or other methods?
So we actually do not have this article ready for you, Jonas, but as part of investigating this, yes, there are going to be select screenings of the Japanese version here in America. So you can go see it now where you're located. I'm not sure if there will be any, but you can make the trip if you'd like. And I know you will be making a trip soon. You're not going to be on the channel for a few days because you're going to be traveling. So maybe you'll be going to a spot where they'll have one of those showings and you can check it out.
That would be amazing.
All right, well, let's hop to seeing something else that's amazing. That is the third weekend in which the Super Mario Brothers movie is going to continue doing incredibly. This out of Box Office Pro by Sean Robbins says the weekend box office forecast, Super Mario goes for another animation record in the fourth frame. Let's take a look at just what they say on that. Says the Super Mario Brothers movie is fresh off a record third weekend performance by an animated film, taking in $60 million. The event family film remains unchallenged in the marketplace again this coming frame and is trending to potentially claim another 40 million or more,
Whoa.
Which would indicate, ladies and gentlemen, this is a hold like we have not seen since Top Gun Maverick. In fact, they're going to mention it in just a moment. Not only would that range send it far past Incredible 2, their standing fourth weekend record for animation, which was 28.4. Oh my gosh, it's like doubling it. It gives Mario a chance to rival the 5 best fourth weekends, that's what it's saying when it says frames, in history among wide releases. Mario will now be going up against Star Wars The Force Awakens, Black Panther, The Avengers, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Folks, if this movie hits the highest points that they're thinking it could, if it makes more than 40 million, it could be the best fourth weekend ever. Oh my gosh. Now, it's got to beat 2 more, okay? It's got to beat Top Gun Maverick at 44, and this is a long shot. It would have to beat Avatar at 50. I think that's too far. I think there's no way it's going to have a 20% drop, which is what it would take to beat Avatar. But we're talking about top 5 and possibly third place overall for an animated film about a plucky little plumber everyman who just wants to do right and help save his brother. Jonas, is this not awesome?
It's amazing, and dollar for dollar, they're doing so much better at this.
Absolutely.
I still cannot fathom how little they spent on this movie and how well it is doing. When people really care about what they're doing, the audience responds. This is amazing.
Now, speaking about the audience responding, we've done a number of videos on this channel about how Hollywood is responding, and Hollywood does not know what to do. Hollywood is so confused. The critics are slowly attempting to fix their previous stances because they realize they're on the wrong side of the market, and if they're on the wrong side of the market, well, that puts them in a place they don't like, a land we call irrelevancy, and they don't want to be there for very long at all, although I think they tend to stay there much longer than they know. However, Hollywood is trying to figure out, does Disney have a chance of coming back? And I have to say that I don't do this usually. So apologies to Stephen Barker. I don't normally pick out articles. And folks, you can go back and look in the history of all the videos. I highly recommend you watch each and every one of the videos from front to back on my channel. Every single one.
Every single one.
So that you can affirm that I don't normally do this. But I don't normally pick out an article because it's bad. In this case, it just has to happen. Multiple people have sent me this article. I've read it. It's special. Here's what it is, and I want everybody to understand that this is sort of the mindset that's going on in Hollywood because they don't understand what is happening. And so they are grasping at straws in the dark. This out of ScreenRant. Disney still has a brilliant secret weapon to combat Super Mario Brothers. Oh, boy. Here we
Sure
go.
they do. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You might be thinking, Jonas, that they're going to talk about Moana, perhaps, or maybe Wish. No. The Super Mario Brothers movie's box office success has totally embarrassed Disney. Well, at least they're admitting it. But one Disney-owned video game property can bring the studio back.
Oh, no.
The Super Mario Brothers movie has become a blockbuster hit, something that Disney hasn't had for a while, but the House of Mouse has a video game property of its own up its sleeve.
No.
The new video game movie has become a phenomenal success as it broke 5 opening weekend box office records. It had the highest grossing Wednesday, Sunday opening weekend ever, is on track to make over $1 billion. The film's box office success is a blow to Disney, which has struggled at the box office with its recent animated movies. By the way, you're seeing an ad there for The Little Mermaid, and, well, that's getting no good traction. Cover that another day. Disney, which is generally regarded, and folks, if you're seeing the image down below, yes, we're going there. Disney, which is generally regarded as the gold standard of animation, has become an animation empire with its own studio, and Pixar hasn't had a bona fide hit in years. Let me say it again, folks. Let me say that again. How often have we said this, and now the media is picking up on it? Disney, which is generally regarded as the gold standard of animation, has become an animation empire with its own studio, and Pixar hasn't had a bona fide hit in years. Thank you. You know what, Stephen? I like you better now. Strange World bombed at the box office, just made $73 million. Lightyear bombed at the box office, $226 million. However, while Mario is Disney's biggest nightmare, Disney still has a way to compete with Illumination. And folks, Mega Man could be Disney's answer to the Super Mario Brothers movie.
That's not where I thought they were going, but this is a worse idea.
So, not Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? I could play with that if Disney was going to acquire the rights to Sonic. Not Kingdom Hearts. Hollywood is trying to come up with something Disney has. Not Wreck-It Ralph. Mega Man.
Does Disney even have the rights to Mega Man? That's a Capcom property.
Apparently, 20th Century Fox had the movie rights to it, and therefore, by virtue of the fact that Disney bought 20th Century Fox, they now have the rights for the movie. But now, whether or not they have the rights to do it without Capcom's, participation, who knows? And for all of you out there who love Mega Man, well, so do we. We love Mega Man.
Yes, but
Mega Man was most popular on the NES from the 80s.
But your grandparents have not heard of Mega Man. This is the thing. If I go outside and I say Mega Man, my kids know what Mega Man is. My wife might know what Mega Man is.
Oh,
outside
come on.
of that,
you're saying she would know what Mega Man is?
She might. I think she might have to be reminded who he is. She might ask if it's the Charlton Heston film first.
But she would know. She would know Mario and Sonic, right?
Yes, absolutely, because that's required viewing around here, and we all love Mega Man, and my kids all love Mega Man, but Mario and Mega Man are different sets of appeal. Also, I'm just saying, I would love to see a Mega Man film. I would not love to see.
We both would, but the idea that this could compete with Mario is asinine.
Yeah, bonkers, absolutely bonkers. I thought they were going to say Disney Infinity here, and this is a worse idea, and it doesn't actually help Disney's brand problem, because Disney and Mega Man are not the same property.
That's exactly right too.
It is incompatible with their core franchises, and there's no strong female character, so they're not going to be crazy about that either. This does not fit the way they want it to fit. Yes, it could be a great film if Disney personally doesn't have their hands on it, but no, this does not fit.
Well, it's one of 200 Fox projects that Disney canceled when they bought Fox. So it's not like they felt confident that it was a big moneymaker. And so you just have to feel sorry for Hollywood right now as they're trying to figure out what is it about Mario. And I guess all they can come up with is that video games are popular now. Like that's the resolution they're thinking on.
Well, yeah, and, that's typical Hollywood.
Does it make them think that you could just throw in Pac-Man Fever and it's going to take off? Like, I don't understand what they're doing right now. You've got an entire Nintendo cinematic universe on the way. And the response that Disney could have is a Mega Man movie. Really? Really? Jonas, how worried should Disney be at this time about the Nintendo cinematic universe?
They should be very worried. And if they're not actively considering it now, they're insane. They need to be course correcting right now. They need to be doing something with a strong male character to retain the male audience that they have lost and they have degraded over the last however many years. When they lost Tony Stark and most of the strong male Avengers, they thought, okay, we'll just move over here and everyone will follow. They were obviously incorrect.
Jonas, one of the things, go ahead.
No, you please go ahead.
One of the things that I found fascinating is that Robert Iger seems to think that Frozen 3 is an answer, that Frozen 3 will be a way for Disney to get back into the box office game. And I watched as Josh Gad, the voice actor behind Olaf and someone who has worked a lot with Disney and continues to work a lot with Disney, he came out with a very abrasive kind of tweet in which he compared those who have paid for the subscription to Twitter. Perhaps they want to have the ability to edit their tweets, or perhaps they want the ability to upload long format videos to the service. But he compared all of those people who now have blue check marks to the worst people in human history. We won't say the name here. And then that tweet was actually taken down. And I wonder if that was at the request of Disney. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I wonder if Mario is beginning to have an impact where these celebrities who once thought they could say anything, they could be as rude and vile as they wished. They could spew their nonsense and slime vast swaths of the audience. I wonder if now they're under more scrutiny because none of the cast of Mario are doing that. Jack Black is out there wearing a tuxedo with Bowser spikes on it. He is singing Peaches to the top of the music charts. Chris Pratt is, of course, praising the film and doing a fantabulous job marketing it. Do you think that this is putting pressure now on Disney's group of zany wackos where they have to watch what they say?
If they weren't doing it before, they ought to.
Oh, they weren't. They weren't.
This is just par for the course. You don't show contempt for the audience. You're not rock stars. You're not musicians. You are not making angsty art. You are making something to entertain people's children. And
that's a great point.
If you can't be trusted to at least respect the people who are paying your bills, then maybe you need to find a different line of work. There are lots of films out there that are perfectly fine for grown-ups that are not appropriate for children. Go make those. But if you're going to be Olaf, a continuously merchandised character for the Walt Disney Company, you can't go around calling. I'm also going to point out that a lot of people who are verified and pay for verification are people who work with Josh Gad. So and on both sides of the political aisle. So maybe he just realized he was insulting his friends. You cannot go calling your audience the worst people in the world and then expect them not to listen to you.
If you're going to be mean and nasty and make people sad, well, then that might be a bummer. And Josh Gad, you've been quite the bummer. But one thing that's not a bummer is the Mario movie. Folks, this thing is making a huge impact across Hollywood. It is telling everybody who makes these movies that there is a way to yet once again make oodles and oodles of cash. They'll have to get bigger vaults just to put all those gold coins that Mario is earning.
No,
It
every
all
100
involves
they get
doing
an
just
extra
a
life.
non-divisive thing. Oh, they get extra lives? Oh my gosh. Well, you better not tell Hollywood that. Many of them need those. They've already burned the ones they have. Jonas, final thoughts on Mario and where this is going now. I'm optimistic, and I hope this will put competitive pressure on Disney to do better, along with other companies as well. What do you think? Final thoughts, and then make sure to tell everybody where they can find you on this great, big, beautiful web out there.
Well, first of all, I am looking forward to watching the Mario movie again in English and in Japanese with English subtitles. Maybe once with an American dub of the Japanese.
Would that not be a cool special features thing?
Oh man, especially if they could get the original voice actors to do it. I would love it. They can't do that. They're all busy. Hopefully making the next Super Mario Brothers movie. What an exciting time to be on the upswing here with the possibility that we can go to the movies again. We can enjoy ourselves as a family. And I am so glad that Nintendo does what they do best. And they've taken a stand here and said, no, we just want to make an entertaining film, guys. You guys do what you want. We're gonna show up and we're gonna do what we do best, which is have some fun. Love it. Oh, you can see me on my channel, which is an analysis of everything woke in pop culture right now, especially stuff that's aimed at kids. There are some playlists there if you need to catch up on some of the things that maybe parents weren't aware of that Disney and some other companies have been putting into their entertainment.
Fantastic. And I hope everybody checks out your channel, Jonas. What'd you have to say there?
No, I was going to say, I also, on most weeks, I get to be on the Pro Show. I won't be able to do that this coming week, but I need everyone to go and watch and report back to me what was said about me behind my back.
Absolutely. And Jonas is actually getting the thumbnail ready as well for the members exclusive live stream we'll have on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Usually Stephen does all of our artwork. He continues to do the vast majority, but we've asked Jonas to do that special members live stream thumbnail. So excited about that and excited about having those members in there. Jonas, you talked about getting to go back to the movies again and not worry about the content that's going to be put into the eyeballs and the ears of our little ones. And I have to say that I am so pleased with Mario because I believe that when children watch it, they come away better. Boys and girls. Little girls can look up to Peach, and little boys, well, they can look up to the idea of two brothers that love each other and will do whatever it takes to take care of one another. I think it makes kids better to see that kind of stuff. I think it improves the relationships in families. And as long as companies are willing to make that, then I say, here, bring on more of Nintendo. I don't care where this came from. I don't care if the origins are Japan. I don't care if it's South Korea. I don't care if it's Australia. I don't care where it comes from. It doesn't have to be brought forth out of the United States. Wherever the course correction happens, I love it. And so thank you, Nintendo. Thank you, Miyamoto. Thank you, Illumination. Thank you, Universals, for making this happen. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy to see the market working as it should. You know what else is working as it should, folks? It's all of you. When you click that like button, when you share, subscribe, and when you stick it to the algorithms by clicking it, we're talking about the notification bell. You are the electricity that drives this channel, and boy, have you been driving it. Over 1 million minutes, over 1 million views. 1 million views in the month of April alone. I cannot believe your generosity and just how amazing all of you are. Thank you so much. Folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. Wahoo!
Make sure to catch the Pro Show Thursdays 5 to 7 Eastern Time. Entertainment Explained, The Culture Curve Conquered, live with Pro and all his friends.